Artificial intelligence is creeping into the workforce. It's expected by the year 2030, 50% of current jobs will be replaced by robots. Even China, by 2030, is expected to have 400,000 robots working in an array of areas, from tourism to secretarial to actually assistance in dental and medical. Which job will be in jeopardy? Is your job going to be in jeopardy by 2030? What can you do about it? How can you find out about it? And how can you prepare for the jobs that won't be in jeopardy? Today in DeFi IoT, we're going to talk about that. All right, so we have another issue. We have inflation on top of us. We have this whole worry of a CBDC control. I just got done watching a video on China's social credit score and how they're controlled and how they put up pictures that don't go with the system. Now we got one more issue. All those computers that track everybody are also going to be taking over our jobs. Which ones of those jobs are in jeopardy? We're going to go through right now. Which ones are not? We will go through, and stay with us to the end because I got a special something for you that will help you if you decide to further your education and prepare for what's coming. Listen, let's go through this right now. This is a report done by the Wealth of Geeks, okay? I'll put these links down below. There's going to be 3 pages. You can read it yourself. Here's the evidence. Everything we do here is truth, no shield. First of all, let's go in and talk what is the difference between artificial intelligence, AI, and automation. We've seen automation in, for example, the building of vehicles, all the plants, right? How the vehicles are built. We also see automation in, well, a lot of things. For example, if we, like our computers, what we do in, like for QuickBooks, if you have QuickBooks or like your accounting, right? You'll see automation in that you can implement something and you put it in the right category, it'll fly into other areas. So when it comes down doing your taxes, everything's just automated. It just flies out exactly what you need for your categories according to the current tax papers, right? So we've seen automation for years. That's nothing different. What is AI though? What's this artificial intelligence? Where's that going? That's something completely different. Let's go through this. AI refers to technology that is programmed to think and learn like a human. And that's exactly what they do. They're programmed, they get started. Then as they start exercising the program, they get responses. They're actually intelligent enough to where they can actually think about those responses or the outcome of something they did or said and actually come up with a new approach, vocabulary, way of thinking. They grow in their intelligence. That's what you get when you're talking about artificial intelligence, right? It's just an artificial intelligence that continues to grow. That's intelligence. It's like a human. It is considered to a much more advanced version of automation, as it can think and learn independently, okay? On the other hand, automation involves technology that can perform tasks automatically but cannot think or learn. Okay, so it doesn't learn or think. You just program it and just does it like a software. Okay, that's automated. When you talk about putting intelligence into it, artificial intelligence, then it actually can think, process, come to conclusions, and actually grow in its own intelligence. Elon Musk has even warned us that this is dangerous. Even though he's involved with this, he's warned us of the dangers that are involved. He's actually calling for a moratorium now, a stand down, that we don't go so fast. When they just came out with ChatGPT 4, right, on OpenAI, which is super intelligent, to the point where some governments now are considering or passing laws to make ChatGPT illegal. One also is because it's a breach of their privacy, or in other words, what the government is trying to hide from you, or historical data, right? Because it can be controlled by somebody independent and outside of that government agenda. So they don't want anything that's going to be outside of that. But this is where you're going to come into, though, with the digital ID. So when you access, you'll be allowed to go certain areas or not go certain areas. Or if you do access certain things, then your social credit score, your carbon credit score will reduce you down, as in China, and you're shown as being a rebel. On the screens everywhere, even in the mall. That's another video I'm going to do later on. I got it in Spanish right now, but try to do one in English. So that's the difference between AI and automation, right? Automation is automatic, like in our automobile factories, right? Boom, boom, boom. It's all automated. Those are all robots that are automated. Now they can learn for themselves and they can actually grow in intelligence. So AI has the ability to replace workers who are assigned repetitive and time-consuming tasks for now, freeing up humans to focus on more complex things. That's the excuse, right? That's the reasoning for it. Is your job at risk? Analysts created an online generator that I'll put down below that ironically it works with AI, right? And they'll tell you if your job is at risk or not. So I'll put the link down below. Let's go through some of the jobs that are at risk, okay? Let's go back up here. And then I'll go into jobs that are not at risk. Then I'm going to finish up with how you can continue to be not at risk and continue to educate yourself cheaply and at a good university. I'm going to show you. Higher risk of replacement. According to the data, okay, this is all taken from AI, by the way, paid jobs are higher risk of being replaced because, lower paid jobs because these involve roles that are repetitive and don't require creative thinking. Okay, now AI can get to a point where it can be a creative thinker. That's what we got to watch out for. That's a warning from Elon Musk. Top 10 jobs that are at risk according to this data. Secretarial and related occupations. Why? Because this can be a robot. Have you seen right now in China and Japan, you go into, for example, a hotel and the receptionists are robots. They're these beautiful women that I've seen women so far, and they're robots. They're not human. They're bots. And they look human. Health associate professionals, nursing auxiliaries and assistants, housekeeping and related services. You can say, well, how is that? Well, remember that these robots can be trained to be housekeepers. They can be trained to do housekeeping as well as health assistants professionals. Bots can do it. Computers can just tell them certain things, right? So, I mean, there's all these areas, a physical bot or a computer that just tells and instructs are all areas where a medical professional, a doctor, can advance without having to have human interaction. So you got cleaning and housekeeping managers and supervisors. Okay, so cleaning and housekeeping managers, supervisors, housekeeping and related services. We talked about that. Leisure, travel, and related personal services occupations. Okay, so anything's leisure, travel, or related to personal service occupations are in jeopardy of bots. That's easy. You already start to see that now when you go on and you go book your flights, whatever, on bookings or your hotels on bookings, and you go book your flights at Expedia or wherever you're booking it, right? Those are all bots. That's all bots working that for you. That's not a human behind it. You try to call a human and decipher if you got an error or something, right? But those are bots. We've been being conditioned with this for a long time. So elementary sales occupations, okay? That's true because there's only certain things you can do to pitch certain products. And there's so many different ways you can sell now, like not going door to door anymore, right? That's been out for years. Industrial cleaning process occupations, dental nurses, sewing machinists, etc. Along those lines. Somebody works at Taco Bell, for example, right? That can all be replaced. All that can be replaced by bots. Low risk of replacement, and I'm going to go into this. Higher paid occupations such as lawyers and doctors require high level critical thinking and decision making that a machine cannot replicate, according to the study. But according to Elon Musk and other things I've read, the machines will in time be able to replicate human creativity and thinking, just like they're doing with the vehicles, right? The electronic vehicles, the AI vehicles, those vehicles are thinking for you. They think when to stop, when to move, what's safe, what's not safe, right? They're getting this critical thinking capacity, apparently, okay? So here's the jobs. Mechanical engineers, paramedics, head teachers, and medical practitioners are among all those, like lawyers, who are at low risk of being replaced by AI. Why? Well, one, they have a higher salary, and this is the point I'm going to come to. Similarly, many creative jobs cannot be replaced by AI or automation, such as fashion designers, for example, that rely on a touch of human decision making, right? So fashion designers, you're in good. But I would think that down the road, a bot can learn. For example, let's take TikTok. I'm not a TikTok fan, but let's take TikTok. You can see a lot of fashion coming through, right? So why couldn't a bot then analyze and see where trends are going. You know, bell bottoms, higher pants on the women, lower skirt line, hemline, for example, or longer, you know, more conservative, more revealing. They can see these things, and I think a computer will be able to generate, going forward, even fashion, because that's pretty much generated by humans, right? We see the fashion, and it's kind of like they kind of like go this direction, and that's kind of the fashion. If you ever noticed that or not. So anyway, so I think that is also something that can be replaced down the road. Now, so what's the deal here? The bottom line is this. Is your job at risk? Here's the thing. Anything that is mundane, anything, I shouldn't say even mundane, anything that doesn't require a high level of critical thinking, right? Such as, for example, if you're a CEO, if you're a manager of a division, maybe a manager division that has bots working for them. I'll put another link down below that talks a little bit about this. Your states that are really going to be more concerned would be North Carolina, Texas, Oregon, because they have a lot of manufacturing plants. That all can be replaced by bots, for example. But you're even having military bots now to replace soldiers, even the planes and the pilots. So you're seeing that take place. Saying airplane pilots are actually safe, but we're already going there now with the Air Force, right? So in time, I think you could actually take from a air controller, a traffic controller, to actually pilots can be replaced by bots. I mean, the bot's going to probably do better than some of these humans that we're getting hired right now with the new policies, right? So, I mean, that people might even want that. I don't know. What do you think? Put your comments down below if you think your job is in jeopardy or what you think about this. Now, here's the downside to this, and here's the upside. So you need to stay on top and be a creative thinker. So it means you're probably going to have to change your career down the road if you're a worker that can be replaced and high risk for AI, for this automated intelligence, right? There is an online school that's really cheap right now. And I know that my wife did it, as well as some good friends of mine did it and graduated, got their degrees. And whether you agree or don't agree with the school, it's a Christian school. It's BYU. It's called BYU, not BYU Provo, but BYU Idaho. And it's an online program called Pathways. I'll put a link down below as well if you want more information on that. I don't get anything for this. I'm just telling you because you can take online credits. Like as an American, if you're a foreigner, you even get cheaper credits depending on what the median income is in your country, right? So you can start to get ahead now and educate yourself and have better training so you're not replaced by a bot or a robot in the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I'll put a link down below. It's called BYU Idaho. Now, downside to this, upside is they say it's going to generate more gross domestic product, GDP, in the year 2030 than we've ever created by using artificial intelligence. That should scare us a little bit. What's the downside to it? Great, we'll have a great economy, but the gap between the rich and the poor are going to become greater. The poor will be out. The rich will become wealthier. How are you going to become rich? Becoming intelligent yourself. Hit that BYU application for like $20 or $30 a credit. You can take for a semester. You can take college courses and graduate from a good college and be ahead of the AI threat. Hey, remember something. In chaos brings many opportunities, but to seize those opportunities, we have to act. That requires work and effort. DeFi IoT, hit the subscribe. I'll see you in the next button.